Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, I'm going to take a look at the 1992 Jaguar Annual #1 from Impact Comics, from DC Comics. With this cover by George Pratt, who has done all of the covers to all of the annuals of the Impact line. And this makes it EarthQuest Part 5. As I said, I've been doing all these Impact annuals. Of course, remember, all these characters in the Impact line were licensed Archie Comics characters, and then they revamped them all. And this is the Jaguar, and this is the Impact version of the Jaguar, female version of this fellow. This is the original Jaguar. Then over here, this is their Archie's current version of the Jaguar, and it's Jaguar, not Jaguar. It's Jaguar, or if you're a Brit, Jaguar. Okay, and this is written by William Messner-Loebs, with pencils by Scott Kollins, and inks by Andrew Pepoy. We've come across his name in something else recently. The Jaguar is a superhero character from the MLJ Archie comics. He first appeared in Adventures of the Jaguar in 1961, created by Robert Bernstein and John Rosenberger. I like John Rosenberger. I remember seeing him do not Archie, but like Date with Judy or some similar type of teen humor magazine comic. He's part of the she was part of the Archie's Adventure series before becoming Mighty Comics. Their Mighty Comics line in the 60s. The original Jaguar was zoologist Ralph Hardy, and in Peru found a nucleon energy belt which transformed him into the Jaguar, and he possesses powers of the animal kingdom. Though with the Impact line, it was Maria de Guzman, who was a female teenage version of the Jaguar, was created. She came to the United States from Rio de Janeiro to study at a college. But she inherited her Jaguar powers, which is werewolf-like powers, from her aunt, who had been Jaguar before her. And her powers are limited to cat-like abilities. So, take a look now. These annuals, they would have, like in this case, the Jaguar. It has the longer lead story of the Jaguar, and then would have two backup stories featuring other Impact characters, and all of these have done that. Okay, this is Jaguar. It has the Shield story and a Black Hood story, and these were longer legacy characters, and these would be stories about previous incarnations of the character, as previous to the most recent. Now, in the previous EarthQuest and EarthQuest Part 4, which was what in the I think it was The Fly. I think they made reference. I think, as I said then, I think there was some delay with the release of this book. I think this was originally intended to be Part 4, because in in part 4, it makes a reference to the events in this one. And of course, Earth Quest is this villain causing all kinds of environmental problems, trying to get an alien, a hidden alien device to reveal itself to that would heal the Earth, and he hopes that it would heal him from whatever the strange malady is that he's got. And these have all been individual stories, only vaguely linked, and none of the main characters are linked with one another at this time, as far as this storyline is concerned. It's just like the hero pops up to foil whatever nefarious thing that is going on at the time. So here we go to the Jaguar. Said silent winged death. There's some, but splash page. Nothing fantastic, nothing exciting, but no, it's just to quietly and peacefully ease us into whatever. And you see the beautiful renditions of these parrots by Scott Kollins. And it's then we see the Jaguar trying to get one of the birds, and then an eagle comes down with talons, and the cat crashes to the ground. And then we said, "Cut! I hated it. Make him do it over." I said, "These are valuable animals. You can't just do that, Miss Tracy." And then boom! The cat is about to attack, and it was all a dream. A strange dream of Tracy, who is the Maria's college roommate, and she happens to know that Maria is the Jaguar. So then they have to go off to a class or whatever it is. While on their way, ooh, woo, 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 the cops. Something happened, and then here is a very sexy ad for the movie Cool World, which was a very interesting movie, but not that good. It was technically good. It was combining the live action and animation, trying to be like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Anyway, and it turns out close by there was a death in the pet store. And in the process here, the cops are investigating, taking the body out, and the ladies happen to slightly know this fellow, who was killed in the whatever happened in the pet store. And then the birds are accidentally released, whoop whoop whoop, and causing a flashback for Maria to have a flashback to when she was a child in real. And then she's back. So something isn't quite right, and suddenly she is gone. Tracy says, "Where is she?" And she goes to some other store because she wants to talk to somebody who she knows is involved in the criminal underworld. Transforms into the Jaguar, and then confronts and intimidates, and gets a little bit of info about the Moonlighter. And then leaves the guy. Nothing, no sign. So she's back with her friend Tracy. They have a lecture, and she leaves a note, surreptitiously a note on this professor's desk. It says, "Meet me at the Old Oak at midnight, Jay." Then the girls are toddling along. Then we cut to the actual Moonlighter himself, bringing in this guy who is a politician of some kind, a good politician, and he's being intimidated. And then he shows him, "Just read this." Hands him a piece of paper and suddenly says, "Oh, now I understand, my friend. I understand everything." La la la. He's very sick. And it turns out there's nothing on the piece of paper. There's just something mystical about this paper that. whoever looks at it becomes very suggestible, and now he is basically under the spell of the Moonlighter. Meanwhile, at the pet shop where the owner was killed, the deputy is standing guard over the crime scene. Then we cut to the old oak, and it's Jaguar meeting that professor, and she knows that the professor is someone who has some links to the web, and she gets some information about the Moonlighter, and then she's gone. Like, it's kind of like Batman and Commissioner Gordon. Turns around and suddenly he's not there. She goes to the pet store, but the idiot. Oh yes, here's gunfire. It's the deputy in the pet shop against a bunch of goons. She smashes in and just goes fight, fight, fight. Basically rips these goons apart. But they try to snatch the deputy for whatever reason. But they try some gizmo on her, knocks her out, and they snatch her. And take her to the big boss, who is the Moonlighter, which is who she wanted to get a hold of in the first place. And he basically explains everything. This is how it ties in with EarthQuest, because the Moonlighter is being a facilitator for the big villain. I've forgotten his name offhand. And he's been smuggling in exotic birds involved, but they have a special disease in them that will spread through the birds, and of course this is part of his plan and the loss of the bird life will cause an ecological disaster, which is what the guy wants to try to get that hidden alien device to work that he calls the Grail. But he tries the piece of paper on her, but it doesn't work on her, so they try to zap her. She breaks loose. Turns out that there is an antidote to that bird disease, and she snatches that and smashes through the wall, and whoops, a lot of the birds get away. And it turns out she's not in a house or anything. She's in an airship. But fortunately, she's not that high. And she manages to safely land. And the Moonlighter skedaddles away. So this is at the end of the story. She's back in class. And some of those birds from the pet shop are still out and about. But she's handed the antidote over to the web. And they will see it. It is released okay, and then said. So this is the Moonlighter is basically swearing he's going to get back at the Jaguar. Then we have the second story, Trick or Treat, taking place on Halloween night, 1978. Some kids running around like crazy in a car. Bam, bam, bam. This is the Shield story, and. Kids getting in trouble, causing trouble. The boys drop off the girls, and they couldn't even remember which girl was which. They go to see some gangster. He's got a little delivery job for them, and give them the directions on how to get to the place, and just at what time to be there. And the kids taking care of his, like brushing his teeth and shaving, etc. Goes to see his, remembers seeing his grandpa, who is a gangster, the previous week in prison, and says, "Don't be like me, boy. You be straight." Yada yada yada. And said, "Remember, our family's got someone watching over us. It's the Shield." He's heard stories about the Shield, but he don't believe in all that, none of that. And they're about ready to go on their little mission. His buddy pops up, and he's got a gun. And his dad comes in. Now this ties into the other backup stories and the other issues of these Impact annuals. because this has been the same family, because the grandpa was the big time gangster that the Shield put away in our first story, and his father is the youngster who was the big brain, and then later was trying to take over the organization in Cuba during the Cuban Revolution, and he was saved by the Shield, and he went straight. And here the boy said, "We tried to give you a normal life. That man on your wall didn't save my life so I could raise a 2-bit hood." The Shield. Yes, the Shield. So he said, "Nah, Pop." He goes off to do he doesn't believe all this garbage. And where is he been now? And said, he's old. He's heard that the Shield is dead. So the kids get lost on their delivery, and someone harasses them, and then they're about to get stopped by, followed by, is that the cops? I guess it's the cops, whatever. And no, it wasn't the cops. Some other gangsters. But they evade him, get to the house just in the nick of time. Ding dong, get there just in the nick of time, and the Shield shows up. He grabs the package, runs off, kablooey! The bomb, it was a bomb. They would have been killed in the blast as well. They go see the Shield. These guys come up and say, and they're going to be arrested for this. But they were saved by the Shield. Said, Shield. Oh no, it wasn't the Shield. It was the boy's father, dressed as the Shield. And he said, "I promised your mother." He said, "Geez, boss, I heard Jackson had gone straight." And the kid says, "He did. Oh, forgive me, father." So then we have, I'm running too late, so I'll just briefly mention this. Another adventure of the Hood. Now this is the Hood. The power goes with the Hood over centuries to whoever runs it. This is a Western story. Going to do some claim jumping and a mine with some legal wrangling against a mine owned by one of the local American Indians there. But one of the other guys, he was also an Indian. He spotted the Hood. He wants to use it. Be a bit of a vigilante. Grabs borrows some guns and the Hood, and he goes and he winds up saving the other guy. Goes blasting away, and then at the end there's the wanted poster for the Hood, but everything has been put back in the and stuff. And then how the story has been told and retold and embellished until finally it comes down to having been an influence without actually saying so, been an influence on the creation of the Lone Ranger. There we go. So that is part 5 of EarthQuest for the Impact Jaguar Annual #1 from 1992. We got one more to do, one more annual to do. So keep watching for that one. So let me know what you think of the Impact Jaguar, which version of the Jaguar, which Jaguar artist, etc., etc. Let me know what you think on any of those things, any of the Archie superhero line. And remember, comics are art.